Okay, guys, so Game of Thrones finished no more than 10 seconds ago. Just a quick, instant reaction. What the fuck? Okay, so welcome to Throne Talk, guys. If you didn't know already, I talk about the weekly Game of Thrones episode straight after I watch it. Initial thoughts, opinions, and predictions going forward. Spoiler heavy. Go watch the episode. Let's go. I don't have as many predictions. I'm just a little bit angrier than usual. I was a bit upset that Jon had already rocked up to King's Landing. These transition periods and these, periods where it used to take 2 weeks to rock up to a place is now just instant. We're skipping out on the whole time period thing, so whatever. He's rocked up. He's having to talk to Varys about how he doesn't really want the throne, and Varys is like, nah, that's bullshit. This is what you need, the people on the throne. We've heard it a million times before. I also like the fact that Tyrion and Daenerys had a chat about the fact that everyone knows the secret. She's like, if you screw up again, you are gone, buddy. But I know that Varys knows, so he's gone, thanks to you. And then, yes, Varys, poor little Varys, after all that, he ends up just getting cooked alive. Tyrion's like, I'm sorry, dude, this is it. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm shitting myself, but here goes. Gone. Finished. Bye, Varys. Now, Jon and Dany do have another chat. It's one of those weird ones where they kiss each other. It's wrong. It's right. I love you. I don't. And then the same thing happened again. It's like, well, I know. You know that I know. I don't want the throne. And she's like, I don't care because you're going to have to get it because everyone knows it's you that really deserves it. And then you just, I don't know. They're building her up to be the Mad Queen. Pretty much. Now, along the way, Jaime, leaving to go to Cersei, gets caught, captured. Hey, you're a traitor. Tyrion goes to visit him. Dude, you're my brother. I love you. Don't escape. Get Cersei and just live your lives together because we're all over this shit. Gets the key. Clink. See you later, Jaime. Give a nice little hug. That's all good. It was actually a decent scene because the Lannister siblings still have something to give for each other. So, hey, I didn't mind it. I also like the fact that Arya and the Mountain are teaming up to go to King's Landing and take care of their business together. It stands to the reason that the Mountain and Cersei are together, so the Hound and Arya are going to go get them. And now we're all at King's Landing, the attack begins. Pretty much Daenerys has got her dragon. For some reason, those ballista spears do shit all this time. It's like they forgot to explain how agile and clever dragons actually are in the series. So even though that one random ballista out of nowhere got the last dragon in the first one, here, fuck all. 100 ballistas, bang, 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 bang. You ain't getting shit. This thing might as well be invisible. So it sweeps through the entire Iron Fleet, just cleans everyone up. Admittedly, it's a cool action scene in its own right, but it just totally discredits the last Iron Fleet scene that came before this. But at the same time, all the forces are there. Jon's there, Unsullied are there, everyone's there, we're there with them, everyone's there, we're there to go. And then we attack. Obviously, Daenerys attacking the Iron Fleet. Tyrion's worried about, the damage that's going to happen to not only King's Landing itself, but the people. So he keeps insisting, ring the bell. When shit's over, just that's it. We go. When the bell rings, that's a surrender bell. We let it go. Everyone's like, well, next question. See ya. And overall, when the dragon came through King's Landing and blew out the back wall, and everyone's like, oh, it was a cool scene. Immediately. This is my immediate reaction. But this went sour very quickly. So, this is where my problem begins. And I'm very conflicted because the rest of the plot going forward in this episode is fulfilling in some aspects, but complete 180 in other aspects. Daenerys has basically entered King's Landing, got rid of most of the army for Jon and the Unsullied to advance. Then she just sits on this building, right? This is how you got to frame up the scene before explaining my incredible emotion. She's sitting on the building and she's like with her dragon and she's like, yeah, all you guys basically fear me. Like, I'm here, I've fucked yous all up. That's it. This is my town now. And then the townspeople are like, oh, we don't give a fuck. The point of King's Landing, or even just to take King's Landing, the people aren't the enemy. Cersei's the enemy. The Lannister army is the enemy. The innocent people were always spoken about as, as collateral damage as such. I understand that. I'm not stupid. But collateral damage, but you instantly subverted expectations by making Daenerys the villain. So to continue, she's looking at them and she's like, all right, fine. I'm going to fly over to the Red Keep and I'm going to get Cersei. You guys are safe for now. And then 2 seconds later, she just burns a street of civilians. The first scene is like the Lannister army getting burnt. And then the second scene is like clearly a street of civilians, and you're just thinking to yourself, this is a massacre, and it doesn't feel right. And then basically there's a scene where Jon and the Unsullied come up against the Lannister army, and they're waiting. You're like, all right, what's going to happen now? You know shit's going down, yeah? We're going to fight or what? And then the Lannister army's like, nah, cuz, laters, I'm dropping my sword. I'm all good. And then for some reason, Grey Worm's like, nah, Missandei, fuck ya. And he throws a spear, and he gets the dude, and then everyone's like, ah! And Jon's like, no! Who are we rooting for? And then, like, the dude's, like, just all of a sudden trying to kill the women and rape the women and kill the children and... And then Jon ends up killing one of his own soldiers. He's like, bro, you were going to attack me, rape the woman. Screw you, man. The problem I initially have with this scene is, like, even though that there's no winners in the Game of Thrones, we sort of already got that. But as original as it may have been, there was always this subconscious feeling and subconscious story that took place where it just became good versus evil. You know, the whole Night King thing, the whole Cersei going above and beyond evil, trying to screw everyone over, that you sort of just took your sides. Even though everyone had a legitimate claim to the throne, the sides were taken. There were sides that had good intentions and sides that had intentions that weren't as clear or as good-willed. I don't know. But now, shit's just gone south. All of a sudden, characters are now subverted, expectations are subverted, no more good versus evil. Who are you going to root for? You're just watching idiots kill idiots at this point. Then to continue this, Cersei's sitting in a little tower, she's like, what's wrong? I ain't good enough. No, I'm safe today. Until the point where she really gets screwed over. And Jaime has escaped. He's gone all the way to King's Landing. He's gone down that little crevice that Tyrion told him about to get up the Red Keep to get Cersei. All right, he gets there. Euron got knocked off the Iron Fleet, so he rocks up at the same time. Convenient. And then all of a sudden, Euron's just got this huge dick complex where he's like, oh, you're the king killer. I want to kill another king. I'm not even king yet, but for some reason I don't like you. Even though you're trying to save Cersei, I'm going to kill you. Oh, what the hell? He just told you he was here to save Cersei. Why can't you just team up? All right, okay, fight scene ensues. Ding, 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 ding. Euron gets a couple stabs in Jaime. Jaime pretty much just turns around and whoppa into Euron. Euron's like, I killed, what does he say? I killed the King's Slayer, or I killed the man who killed the king, who killed the... I don't fucking care. He wasn't going to kill her. What's your fucking problem, man? What, he's going to take her away from you? Because because he's wrecking his own sister. This doesn't make sense. This plot point did not make sense at all. They didn't need to go against each other. You feel like they went against each other for the sake of action. But you know what? Euron was a shitbag of a character anyway, so he got dealt with. So I guess that's a positive that I can take from this. Then Arya and the Hound are in the little war room with the little map there, and they're like, oh, we're so close, let's do it. And he's like, look, Arya, if you follow me, you're gonna die. And she's like, if I follow you, I'm gonna die. And he's like, yes. And she's like, yes. So they're like, goodbye. You went all this way, and now you realise you're going to die? Why? Why did you have to get this close to realise that this was going to be dangerous? Oh! But then when the Hound finds the mountain, or Gregor, and they're running down the stairs of the Red Keep, they're getting, wrecked and stuff, and then the dragon clears out everything around them. There's this fucking hilarious scene. I keep forgetting his name. The Hand of Cersei, the Hand of the Queen. He's like, protect your queen, the mountain. And he's like, no. He grabs this dude and just smashes, like, it was like a little tap. And his head fucking exploded. It was like, and his head's like, but something we've been waiting for actually for the entire series, the fight between the Hound and the Mountain. It was pretty cool. It chops between a couple scenes, so I will come back to it. But for the most part, it starts off pretty cool. It feels like a plot point we've been waiting to see a resolution for. So I'm glad they at least got to come face to face in the end. In the meantime, Cersei's like, screw you guys, I'm running away. I don't need this shit anymore. And then basically she runs to that war room. Jaime finds her, and off they go to escape. In the meantime, Arya's sort of retreated back to ground level where all the civilians are, and she is getting wrecked. She's getting rubble thrown around. People are like almost killing her because she's getting mixed up in all civilians. And it's just a whole freaking mess, but she gets destroyed. Then cut back to the Mountain and the Hound. They are fighting, and there is just a really crushing scene, really to finalise the fight, where the Mountain's got the Hound against the wall, and he's just choking him out. And the Hound's got her hand free, and he's like, boom, 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 just stabbing him. The Mountain's like, cuz, I see what you're doing. Keep going. Is that a toothpick you got there? Yeah, keep going. Classic Mountain scene, obviously. Just tries to crush the Hound's head. And it's a fucking good scene, I must admit. It's gory, but oh my god, if the sound of a skull slowly cracking isn't really eerie, I don't know what is. He's like really having it, yeah, like he's gonna die. Even though he can't see, he puts the fucking knife straight into the mountain's head. Why did you do that first? Did I miss something? You were stabbing him in the neck! Why'd you just stab him in the head? Alright, it doesn't really matter because he was invincible anyway, so he sort of steps back. He got him, you know what I mean? He drops the Hound. The Hound's like, oh, but I can see a little bit. Oh, I gotcha. Mountain's like, oh, okay. And then he just goes, and I'm just like, okay. Well, you're a robot at this point, obviously. And then the Hound's like, fuck it, we're going together. And he's up against the wall. Hound's like, bang, tackles him. They go straight through the wall of the Red Keep. Bang, down into the fire. Both dead. Brothers, that's the end of that story. Hound, you're a cool character. You could have gotten away with it. That was dumb. Should have stabbed him in the head first. You were free. You got this close. Why couldn't you get here? Oh, whatever. Now, while Arya's trying to get all the civilians out, getting wrecked, all that stuff, Jaime and Cersei make it to like the bottom of the Red Keep to try and escape. Shit's crumbled. They're stuck. As the Red Keep continues, I should say, to get destroyed, it just starts crumbling. Cersei's like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Jaime's like, look at me. This is all that matters. That's it. And then you sort of see the whole Red Keep crumbling, and it seems to crumble on top of them. I guess they went out together. This is the problem I have with this scene. Jaime had one of the most interesting character arcs in the entire fucking series, and you ruined that in 2 episodes. Well done, Game of Thrones. Well done. It's almost like you needed George R. R. Martin to write these books before you started them. So they die together. Oh, it's sweet because they're always in love with each other. Bro, I thought we dealt with this in season 7 where Jaime's like, you're crazy. I gotta go. This is what you thought was gonna happen, and you thought she was crazy. Once you realized back then you needed to stay with her and defend her. Oh, this is so stupid. And then the episode basically ends with Arya alone. She sees her horse. If that was her horse, I think so. And she's like, all right, going to the horse. She's looking around. Everyone's dead. Everyone's toasted. She's by herself. It's all quiet. The battle appears to be over. She gets on her horse and she goes. Oh, okay. It's been a long wrap up. Stick with me because this is where I lose my shit. This episode, as much as I ripped into it, was actually okay. It wasn't perfect. It was okay. Now, Game of Thrones is all about subverting expectations. People die, twists happen, you get shocked. We're no stranger to that. You spent basically 7.5 seasons implementing Daenerys as a change of sorts. We knew that the Targaryens were mad. Their nature was mad. So whenever they got a position of power, they went too far with it. They've explained this. We know this. However, Dany has tried to subvert those expectations for the audience's entertainment, so we could feel that we could latch onto a character that was finally doing the right thing. Why would you change that with 2 episodes to go? I don't mind if you did this towards the start of the season. If you had done this at the start of the season, if this was the big battle, this should have been done in reverse. You would have subverted expectations then and there, but you would have given us another 5 episodes to deal with the fact that Daenerys was now the villain. If you had left the Night King out, you would have said, beautiful, King's Landing is won, the Night King is still coming because he hasn't rocked up yet, and then we'd have a reversal of the battles. Because the throne was won, but then because the Night King would rock up, then no one would win, and that would fulfill expectations because that's what we're expecting all along. I'm not saying I don't want any twists. I'm just saying you did this wrong. Now, we are left with not only the Night King dead, no mention of Bran or any of that fucking storyline returning, but now we've got to deal with a new villain with 1 episode to go, and now no one knows where they stand. The person who wants the throne is insane. The person who doesn't want the throne doesn't know what to do anymore. I don't want to root for Jon because he doesn't want the throne. He doesn't have any ambition. You can't just have an accidental person sitting on the throne. You can't. Just because he was hyped up at the start, it was okay to subvert expectations earlier when he said he didn't want it because we could buy it. We're like, all right, if you don't want it, then don't fucking take it. We've got a lot of legitimate claims to the throne. It's okay if someone who actually deserves it wants it. That's why we sided with Daenerys. And now she's changed, so you're going to have another villain on the throne. If that's how this show ends, mark my fucking words, I will just smear this show's name until it finishes, because I swear this show was doing so well. People had problems with it, but it actually kept up its pace. It might have had some valleys, but it also climbed some pretty high mountains along the way. Even if it was different from the books, this just doesn't really work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Now I can safely say, I've been really easy on these episodes in this particular season, but now I can safely say the pacing is shit. You subverted audience expectations in the wrong way. And now you set up too much too late, and you're not going to have enough time to fill those expectations. Oh, Jesus Christ. If the Night King comes back next episode, I'm going to flip. Where did you take a left turn? Oh, we knew this was coming, but not like this. The reason why I'm conflicted is because for the most part, it was filmed well. For the most part, the effects and the action scenes weren't as bad. This was almost better than the Battle of Winterfell, for fuck's sakes. And yes, you did wrap up a lot of character arcs. You did kill a few more important characters than the Battle of Winterfell killed off, but the narrative is now in pieces. So late, you know, so close, but so far. So close to the end, but now you've just basically created like 4 more seasons worth in which you're not obviously exploring because it finishes next week. So, I don't get it. I do think the books should have been written before going any further, because you can tell that the writers have lost their way. They're trying to piece too many plot points together. George R.R. Martin set up so many plot points because the books were like this. They were huge. And I know that TV shows, movies, any adaptation isn't really going to soak up every single detail, but the length of the season soaked up more than this. It doesn't matter. The lengthy episodes were okay because we were getting more, but they tried to cram too much more into those extra 20 minutes. Instead of giving us extra 20 minutes, how about an extra 2 or 3 episodes to wrap things up? I always had the opinion that whoever was going to sit on the throne had to sit on it this episode. If we were going to do it before the end, because if you ended on a cliffhanger, we'd have too many more remaining questions that weren't fulfilled, especially for the end of not a season. It's okay if it's the end of the season. It's the end of the series. So now, obviously, Dany is on the throne. But the problem is you've changed her character so suddenly and so late that we're basically dealing with a new character on the throne, in which I'm willing to bet we're going to have more than an episode's worth of questions waiting to be answered anyway. Is she going to rule effectively? Is anyone going to side with her? What about the whole Jon storyline, that she's tried to kill off people that she actually thinks know the secret? What about Jon himself? Is he going to go for the throne now? If he changes his freaking motivations now, then this season can fuck itself. But if he doesn't, is she going to kill him anyway? If he doesn't want the throne, why does he need to kill it? Because the people are going to find out, they're going to want him on the throne, yada, yada, yada. He doesn't want it. So now we're just conflicting not only expectations, but narrative plot points, which are quite important, that aren't going to be dealt with in the last episode. There's too many questions that you've raised. I'm let down. A huge lengthy episode today, guys. Excuse my rant, excuse my language, but thank you for watching nonetheless. If you like this episode, click that like button down below. Comment down below what you thought of this episode. I'd actually love to hear from you guys. And overall, subscribe. And if you want to stay updated with all my future content, click that bell button down below. Thanks very much, guys. I'm Chunky. Thanks for stopping by my world, and I'll see you soon. Take care.